Achtung, Achtung. Here's Alex Ryan. You're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, welcome back here to In Your Head. And now we're joined by former WCW, WWE wrestler, manager, valet. She's done it all, and she's about to do something else, which we'll talk about. We have Debra with us. How are you doing?
Hi, I am doing great.
Thanks.
All the way down here in Alabama.
Cool. It's very nice to talk to you. I'm up here in Massachusetts, which is very close to the New England Fanfest and Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame coming up in Warwick, Rhode Island, June 21st, and we'll have all information on the website. We're going to check out their website. MEPW is a New England Pro Wrestling, HOF as in Hall of Fame, .weebly.com. We just went over all the guests there, including yourself. You will be in attendance.
Oh, yes, and I'm so looking forward to it because I know there's going to be a lot of people there, a bunch of my favorite friends, and I just love that part of the country, too.
Mm-hmm. Is that fun for you to meet some of the people that you were in the business with that you haven't might not have seen for a while?
You know what? It really is because since I started in the business as Queen Debra back in 1995, and then I moved over to WWF, WWE now back in 1998 as Debra. It's like I worked with a lot of people over those years, and we all live all over the country, and it's just, you're used to seeing these people pretty much every day, and then all of a sudden now, everyone does their own thing, or they've got different things going on. It is hard to run into them, so it's so nice. It's like a family reunion when I see them. Yeah,
and you probably didn't realize it at that time because you were new to wrestling, but you were really part of just a huge, boom period of wrestling, that whole, 5-6 years that you were part of it.
You know what? I was very, very fortunate to be at the top with all the, with the WCW when they were at the top, as Queen Debra with the Four Horsemen, and then over with the WWF and Attitude Era as Debra, and to work with Jeff Jarrett and Owen, and to work with so many great people over there, and Al Snow, and just a bunch of them.
Where did the Queen of WCW gimmick? Where did that originate from? Was it someone else's idea? Or?
Well, you know what? At the time, I was actually married to Steve McMichael, Mongo McMichael, the Chicago Bears defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
When he retired, and we started over there. And my background, I'm an actress, and I've studied in New York at Lee Strasberg. So they brought me in over there because of my acting, and I'm athletic. And then I had also won Mrs. Illinois America, and then also Mrs. Texas USA. And so Eric Bischoff was like, well, why don't we make you, Queen Debra? So that's how, the Queen Debra came about.
Yeah. Now, how much, did they give you, you should do this, or did you just kind of know exactly what to do for that type of character to work?
Well, no, because Eric, wanted a real bitchy, debutante Queen Debra, and I am from the South, as you can certainly tell by my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm definitely a pageant winner, so I just am, at the first, I remember my first interview or the first time on TV, he kind of, helped me a little bit, but then after that, then I knew the direction I wanted to go in and what they wanted and what the fans wanted. And so I just would write my own stuff.
That's got to be pretty, especially now when, most things are, almost everything's scripted, to being pretty much new to the business and writing your own stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was because, I think, too, coming straight out of New York with Lee Strasberg, and I had to learn how to write scripts, and it was kind of easy for me, and it's so much fun to be a heel.
Yeah. I was going to say, even though, we're supposed to be stuff, but it always did seem like you were having a lot of fun being the bad guy out there. The bad girl.
You know what? It really is fun. You have to kind of, at first it was shocking to hear the boos and all that. But then you realize, you know, that's what the fans, you know, they want to either love you or hate you, and so you want to be hated. When I was Queen Debra, it was like good. And so I just remember I would just think up things, and I remember I thought, well, I'm going to start, every city I go to, I'm going to buy a bouquet of roses, and then I'm going to throw them out in the audience, because I know our fans, they pay a lot of money to come see us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, if I could interact with them, they love that, and I love it. So I would throw the bouquet of roses out there, and they would throw them back at me. I mean, every time. It was so funny. But, yeah, I loved being a heel.
Yeah. Now, you know, when you're with the Horsemen, what was it like, you know, being around the Nature Boy, Ric Flair?
Oh, man, he was so much fun. Just, I mean, you would never know what he was going to do, because you're out there, you're on live TV, and you just knew whatever, you just had to go with whatever he was going to go with.
Mm-hmm. Jay Beefington from the Facebook page, he wants to know if you have any good stories about partying with Nature Boy and Mongo after the shows.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Mongo, that was funny because I was married to Mongo for 13 years, and it was kind of funny because I'm always more like the calm one, like I'm the one that kind of keeps up with everyone, make sure everyone's, you know, where they're supposed to be and not getting in trouble. And so we would all end up like back at the hotel after the show, all of us, and it would be just everybody laughing, talking about the show. And then the Nature Boy, oh my gosh, you know, he does kind of like to just dance on tables without, he likes to, you know, just kind of take his robe off and there's like nothing up underneath there. But you kind of just don't even pay any attention. It's just like, oh, that's just Rick being Rick.
Uh-huh.
And then a lot of times, too, you know, we would, I remember, it was just always just, it was a good time back then.
Mm-hmm. So, why did you end up leaving WCW?
Well, unfortunately, Stu McMichael and I started going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And then I ended up at that same time getting hired by the WWF. And then, but, you know, they switched me to, you know, to Debra over there and totally changed out my character. And I think at first they were going to make me a heel, but it didn't quite go over.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became the babyface.
Which did you prefer? Which company did you prefer working for?
You know what? I actually loved them both. I mean, they both had quality. Just at the time, I mean, because it's pretty much the same people at both companies, and
yeah.
And Eric was great to work for, and,
yeah.
and Vince was great to work for, and you know, I was real fortunate to work during that period and to be, you know, very popular.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you yourself like contact WWE to see, you know, if they were interested, or did someone in WWE contact you?
Oh, back then?
Yeah. To go from WCW to WWF.
Oh, because I remember they were just kind of not using me since Steve McMichael and I was going through our divorce, and so I'm kind of very aggressive. So I was like, well, the squeaky wheel's going to get the oil, and I was like, what can they do? Say no? So I just kept calling them every 2 weeks. I would call them. I would call Vince's office, and I'd call JR's office. I'd call every 2 weeks for about 3 or 4 months. And then finally, one day, they called me, and then they were like, okay, Debra, we have something for you.
So, you know, when you go there, and you said you originally think they wanted you to be a heel, but I guess, you know, people are cheering you, so they, you know, switch you over to a babyface. And you said you had more fun as a heel, but in WWE, you know, when you first go there, was that a lot of fun to be the babyface again?
Well, you know, at first it had to be a transition because, you know, people were still thinking of me as Queen Debra.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's why Vince totally, just changed because at first I came over as Debra McMichael, but then Vince dropped the McMichael and just, as Debra. And then people just, I remember they would boo just like they did Queen Debra. And then over the period of time, it was a short period of time, then they started changing.
Mm-hmm. Now,
and then they started, really, loving my character.
Yeah. Now in WWE at that time, that's like the start of the Attitude Era. Is the women there? You're showing a lot more skin and being a little more risque than you were in WCW. Did you have any problem with that? Did you enjoy that aspect of wrestling?
It's funny. I really, really am shy, but the good thing about training at Lee Strasberg in New York City, I can separate, like me, Debra,
mm-hmm.
Marshall from Alabama, to my acting persona and what I'm trying to do. And so I just focused on being Debra
mm-hmm.
and being as entertaining as I could. And, I have to tell you, when you're out there in front of that camera and in front of thousands of people, and you've got the hard camera and you got cameras all around you, and you're out there with sometimes not a whole lot of stuff on, it can be, you got to go to the gym every day.
Did you ever have a wardrobe malfunction on TV or at a house show or anything?
No. Mm-mm.
Good.
That was one thing. No, I made sure it was no. No, I made sure everything was going to be covered, even though, people maybe thought, oh, here she goes. No, everything always stayed covered.
No, what was your relationship with Jeff Jarrett like? Did you enjoy working with him?
Oh yeah, I love working with Jeff Jarrett. I mean, he taught me a lot, and it was fun to work with Jeff because it was good because I think certain people you go really well with, and you kind of know their moves, and it's kind of like a beat, you just know how they move, and when you just, it was, and he was from the South, and, no, I owe a lot to him. He was, I enjoyed working with Jeff and Owen.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to, mention Owen, of course. I've never heard anyone, say anything bad about Owen. They always, kind of light up and say how much fun he was to be around. Do you have any, a story that sticks out, being around Owen?
Gosh, I had so many fun stories. Owen was just wonderful. The main thing was he was just funny, and he would do really clean, funny stuff. Just kept everything just like a little kid. Just like, when he would, we'd all check into a hotel and we're tired and we're walking down the hallway, all of us, someone's snoring. You walking past the room, he would go back and he'd call that person's room on the house phone and wake them up just to do it. Or, just funny stuff like one time I remember it was with Goldust. We were somewhere and we were in a house show, but it was in the country somewhere. And it was a small civic center, and it was where the curtains were behind us, and the people were on these bleachers, but they didn't realize that we could actually see their feet. And so they found this long handle thing that you can pick up stuff with, and they were grabbing people by their ankles. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Because you're sitting there watching wrestling, all of a sudden something's grabbing you by the ankles, and you scream and you look and you don't see it. The curtain's closed, you don't know where it's coming from. So he was just a good jokester.
Yeah. I always, a lot of people talk about, the rib stories, and some of them get, either, destroy people's stuff, but I always think something like that where you're not hurting anybody. That's a fun time.
Yeah, it was just like you were a little kid and he was a little kid, and he would just do funny stuff just funny stuff. Just nothing that would hurt, someone, just funny stuff to make you laugh.
Mm-hmm. Now, since you said, you got along well with Jeff, did Jeff ever talk to you about coming back to wrestling to go to TNA?
No, because, when I left wrestling, and then I moved to Colorado for a while, and then, you know, I moved back, and maybe because he knew I've been finishing school, so I've been in college at the University of Alabama, you know, finishing my master's.
Mm-hmm.
So, but so far, no.
Would you like, can we talk a little bit this before we came live here? Would you like to tell everybody, you know, out there don't know, that doesn't know, what you get your master's in?
Yes, when I moved back to my hometown, and I just was, last August, I finished my undergrad in interdisciplinary studies, and I graduated with honors cum laude from the University of Alabama.
Uh-huh.
And then I was accepted into the grad school at the University of Alabama for criminal justice. So I'm currently, right now, I went to class today. You know, I'm in class pursuing my criminal justice, my master's in criminal justice from the University of Alabama.
Well, I think that's terrific. It's something you should definitely be proud of.
Oh, yeah. You know, this is my hometown, and that's what I moved back here for, just to, you know, to finish my degree. And
was that something? Yeah, I'm sorry there, but was that something that you were wanting to do, you know, before wrestling, or did it come up?
Oh yeah, you know, yes, because I left a long time ago to go to New York to train at Lee Strasberg Theater School, and all over the years, I always regretted that I just never finished my degree, and it was a dream of mine to do this and to get my master's, and so now I'm finishing this dream. I only have about 20-something more hours left for my master's, and I'll be through. And then you just never know. You never know where I might pop back up at.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Inchman, do you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question from the message board. Golgo13, he wants to know, what was it like working with Miss Elizabeth?
Oh, she was a sweetheart. I mean, we were really, really close friends. She actually traveled with me a lot. And, I mean, just, she was a sweetheart, just very, very sweet and smiling and just easygoing. And that's what's sad, because there's so many, when I think back, there's so many of the women that I work with that, you know, that's not here anymore. And you know, even like sensational Sherri, you know, she was from Birmingham, Alabama, or in between where I live and Birmingham, Alabama. So she was actually from Alabama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always one of my favorites, Sherri Martel.
And I like Luna, too. Luna was a good one to have on your side. Now, you would not want Luna to hate you.
Uh-huh.
You would want her to like you. So I'm glad she was always a friend of mine.
Yeah, I've heard, you know, some stories of people she didn't like. And, yeah.
She was a tough one.
I know this, I think it was, I'm not sure who it was, but they said she taped somebody up once. Were you there for that? She taped someone up.
No, I missed that. No, I missed that one. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, I think it was one time she was let go and then came back again. Did you have any problems with any of the women in wrestling?
No, I just know how to. I'm pretty easygoing, and
yeah,
I kind of just I'm. Even though you wouldn't know that by my heel character, my Queen Debra character, but the real me, I'm just kind of I'm very easygoing.
Yeah. Now I know you know, you talked about, you know, people that are no longer with us, and these two had definitely lived a long life, so it's a little different. But what was it like teaming with Moolah and Mae Young at the Survivor Series?
Oh my gosh, those ladies! I had just the most respect for them, because they were the toughest and the sweetest ladies just combined. I just cannot believe how they could just go out there being older and way they would take all those bumps and just, they were just full of history, you know, of all the people that they've trained, and it was just, they're just, you know, they can't be replaced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're one of the most memorable acts, I think, of that era.
Yes, definitely.
I'll think of, you know, older.
And you know what? I do, I really liked during the Attitude Era, because it was, you know, they kind of reached all groups, you know, all different ages and just a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. There was as a fan, and I've been watching since early '80s, I guess, and maybe mid '80s, and that's one of the highlights of being a wrestling fan. It's hard to anything after that. It's hard to live up to that era of wrestling. It
was definitely entertaining. It was definitely fun to work during that period too.
Yeah. Well, did you think when you first started hearing the puppies chants, did you ever think that would become such a big thing? I think you were the first person they chanted that for.
Oh yeah, that was Jerry Lawler started that, and it was crazy. And I was just like, it was almost like a dream. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is too fun.
No, with somebody like Lawler, because he'd say a lot of crazy things, and most of them would be funny and whatnot. But if he ever thought he went over the line or anything, would he come up to anybody and be like, do you have a problem with this, or did everyone pretty much be cool with whatever he would say in commentary?
What? Say that again now.
Jerry Lawler, because he would say all kinds of funny things on commentary. Would he, if he ever thought he went over the line with anybody, would he go and apologize to them, or was everyone always just cool with whatever he would say on commentary?
Oh no, I mean that's wrestling. You want to be. I mean, back in those days, we wanted to shock as many people as we could. That was part of the entertaining value of it. I mean, it was to be as shocking and as entertaining as possible.
Mm-hmm. Now, we just...
And so I was always like, it was like, that was like I said, everyone was pretty much on the same, boat on this one, because, I mean, that's how we were, the fans paid our salaries, so you would want to fill up the arenas. You would want your merchandise to sell, so you want to keep them entertained.
Mm-hmm. Now, we just had Maria on the show, who said that she's going to be at the New England Hall of Fame and Fan Fest, same one you will be at Warwick, Rhode Island, June 21st, and that she'll be taking pictures in her bikini. Now, are you going to be doing the same, or are you going to be
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Uh-huh.
Because it's safe to say, I'll just leave that one up to her.
All right.
Now, the puppies, me and the puppies will be there, but
well, yes, yeah.
I'll leave the swimsuit to her.
Well, I'm sure myself and a lot of people are looking forward to you and your puppies.
Well, we will definitely be there.
Excellent. And that's MEPW is a New England Pro Wrestling. HOF is Hall of Fame. .weebly.com, Warwick, Rhode Island, June 21st. And it's a cool event because during the day they have the meet and greet where you can get your autographs and your signatures. And then that night they'll also have a Hall of Fame where they will induct a lot of people from the New England area into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Now, someone from the South, what differences was it being in front of a Southern crowd and being up here in the Northeast?
I would say the Northeast was actually probably they were definitely, really entertaining crowd. I just know whenever we would come down to Birmingham, Alabama, since this is my hometown down here. I always remember I used to be a little embarrassed with my crazy stuff my character would do, with the puppies and everything back then. Because, I'd have, my high school friends sitting on the front row.
Right.
I know, it's kind of different, and it's like, oh, my gosh. But the fans up there, up in the north, oh, my gosh, I love the fans up there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very cool. So you'll get to meet them, and it'll be a good time. So I want to thank you for coming on tonight. It's been a lot of fun talking to you.
Yeah, I enjoyed talking to you, too.
Cool. And continued success with your masters and beyond.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And I'll see you in New England.
Yeah, that's right. I'm from Massachusetts. It's not too far from me, and I will be there. Good times.
Okay.
This is Eric Bischoff. You know, controversy creates cash. You know what else? You're listening to In Your Head